Stop scrolling for just 1 second. Your chest just got a little tight, didn't it? Like something in you already knew this message was waiting. That is not an accident. That is your spirit sitting up and paying attention, because what you are about to hear was placed on your path today for a reason. Before we go any further, I want you to do something small with me. In the comments below, just write the "I believe it" that tells your angels and your own soul that you are open to receive this message. It only takes 2 seconds, and it changes the energy of everything that follows. Go ahead, write it now, then come right back. Good. Now take a slow breath in. Let it out slowly too. You are exactly where you are meant to be in this moment. Dear one, if these words are reaching you right now, know this is no coincidence. Something greater has been quietly working on your behalf, whispering to your heart about a reunion that is closer than you think. There have been flashes shown to me of your love story, the joy, the pain, the questions that never got answered. But today the message is clear. Prepare your heart, because a sacred reconnection is coming. I see 2 people who once walked closely together, who once felt like home to each other. I see a phone lighting up with a name that makes the heart skip. I see hands shaking a little as they reach for that phone, finally reading the words they have waited so long to hear. This is not wishful thinking. This is timing lining up in a way only something bigger than us could arrange. The silence between you two was never truly empty. Every day apart, something unseen was working quietly behind the scenes, healing old wounds, softening hearts, preparing you both for this exact moment. What felt like distance was actually preparation. Breathe that in for a second and let it settle. The love you shared left a mark that time could never erase. No amount of space could undo what was real. And now, life is slowly pulling you back into each other's path again. Think about all the nights you lay awake wondering if this was really over. Think about the mornings you woke up and told yourself to stop hoping, only to feel that hope quietly return by afternoon. None of that was weakness. That was your heart staying loyal to something true, even when your mind tried to talk you out of it. There is no shame in still caring. There is no shame in still wondering. That tenderness in you is not a flaw. It is proof that what you shared mattered, and things that truly matter rarely stay quiet forever. Dear soul, pause for a moment. Welcome to the Angel's Message for You original channel. Please check the channel name carefully. It's Angel's Message for You. This is our only official channel. Beware of copycat and fake channels. Stay connected to the original source to receive authentic angel messages and true blessings. A very special thank you to Dear Debbie and Sansari for sowing your seed for Soulmate here through Ko-Fi link. Super thanks. May this seed return to you multiplied with soulmate blessings, divine protection, love, well-being, and abundance. May the angels guide and watch over you always. Thank you for your beautiful support. Blessings always. Let's know what angels want us to know. I keep seeing something beautiful, a message being typed out, then deleted, then rewritten again with a shaky hand. A heart wrestling with pride, but losing to something deeper, something more honest. That person cannot stop thinking about you, especially at night, when the world goes quiet and distractions fade and the heart gets louder than fear. Your name keeps echoing in their chest. They thought time would fade you out. They believed silence would help them forget. But the silence became a quiet place where your memory only grew stronger. They remember the sound of your voice, the way you laughed, the way you looked at them without needing to say a word. It plays over and over, and lately it is not just memory anymore. It is starting to feel like something waking up. There is a date coming, a marker, A gentle nudge you will feel in your body before you ever see it on a calendar. You will notice little signs lining up that feel too specific to ignore. A song you have not heard in years will suddenly play and pull emotion right out of you. You will start seeing the same numbers again and again when this person crosses your mind. You might even dream of their face so clearly it feels like they are right there beside you. These are not random. Think of them as gentle nudges guiding you towards something meant to happen. I see conversations that were left unfinished finally reaching a real close. Not shallow talk, but honest words spoken gently, with real care behind them. I see apologies flowing out naturally, not because they have to be said, but because that person's heart will not let them stay quiet anymore. I see little inside jokes coming back up again, the kind only the two of you understand, still just as special, still able to make you both laugh even through tears. Because this is not only about romance returning. This is deeper. This is two people recognizing something true in each other again, like a mirror reflecting back. Exactly what was always there. Now breathe out any fear you are holding about this. That little voice asking, "What if it goes wrong again?" can be gently set aside. The person coming back is not returning to someone who once questioned their own worth, who once settled for love that felt only halfway there, who once begged quietly to matter. That version has grown. This version of you is steadier, wiser, softer, and stronger all at once. It will show in your eyes the moment you two meet again, and something in them is going to soften the second they see it. Their spirit has been preparing, and whether you have noticed it or not, so has yours. Even in the moments you cried over this, even while you were healing, even when you told yourself you were finally done, some quiet part of you kept whispering, "If it is truly meant to be, I will know it, I will feel it, and I will be ready." That readiness has arrived. It has been quietly growing in the stillness, and it is calling this person back toward you. You might not fully trust it yet. You might think, "Not after everything we went through." But this pull is not bringing you back into pain. It is bringing you back toward peace, toward something whole. This reconnection is not weakness, and it is not you stepping backward. It is your path circling forward. It carries closure and a brand new beginning together. It is where old lessons finally get honored and hearts get to heal for real. Space is being cleared for you emotionally so that when this person arrives, you will not feel chaos. You will feel calm, a quiet knowing, like your heart is finally exhaling after years of holding its breath. Do not underestimate how far you have come. Do not shrink your own growth. You are not the same person you used to be, and neither are they, even if their words come out a little clumsy at first. Pay attention to their energy instead. It will tell you everything. Their heart is softer now. They have seen things, faced regret, sat with guilt, and asked themselves honestly why they ever let something so good slip away. Now they are being pulled back, not out of loneliness, not out of ego, but out of something that finally feels aligned. It is like your two stories are being carefully stitched back together, this time with thread made of truth, care, and real understanding. There is something beautiful about new beginnings, but there is something sacred about returning. It means what you shared was real, that it mattered, that it was never really finished. If any of this feels true in your chest right now, whisper Amen quietly to yourself, or type it below. Let your heart stay open to this. This is not the ending you once feared. This is the moment where pain finally turns into purpose, where your heart quietly says, "Yes, I have been waiting." No need to chase anyone down. No need to beg for anything. Just stay soft, stay grounded, and keep noticing the little signs. They are coming not because they are perfect, but because they finally understand, because they finally see what you always knew was there. You are not forgotten. You are not too much. You are not replaceable. You are the answer to something they did not even know how to ask for. And right now, they are quietly finding the words, rehearsing the moment, because soon they will be standing in front of you ready to say, "I never stopped caring about you. I just did not know how to show it the right way before, but now I do." That moment right there, that is what everything has been building toward. Let your heart settle. Let your soul stay open. Let this unfold the way it is meant to, because it is going to be beautiful, and you are more than ready for it. You might be tempted to rush this along, to send that first message yourself, to speed up something that is already moving in its own perfect order. Resist that urge for just a little longer. Not because you are not allowed to reach out, but because there is real value in letting this arrive naturally instead of forcing it into place. The things we chase often slip further away, while the things we simply trust tend to find their way to us on their own timing. Let this be one of those things. Stay soft. Stay steady. Keep living your life fully while this unfolds quietly in the background. Because your joy does not need to wait on anyone else's timing to begin. There is a lot of quiet movement happening around your story right now. Warm feelings that suddenly rise up out of nowhere in your chest. That is not random either. That is connection reaching across the distance. A kind of soul memory from someone who still carries you in their heart. There is an invisible thread between you two that travels even without a single word being spoken, and the space between you is gently closing, not by force, but by something softer, something like grace. There is a rhythm playing out beneath the surface, one that has been building quietly, waiting for the right moment. There is a specific sign coming, and do not miss it when it shows up. It might not look impressive to anyone else, but it will stop you in your tracks because it will feel deeply personal, something only the two of you would understand. Could be a certain animal or symbol. It could be a repeating number. It could be a scent that carries a memory, or a song that suddenly seems to play everywhere. It might arrive in a quiet moment or in the middle of chaos, but when you see it, trust it. Do not talk yourself out of it. This is confirmation, a gentle whisper saying, "Get ready, ready for truth, ready for healing, ready for love." Not the way it was before, but the way it is meant to be now. Something sacred has been happening. One of you has changed in a real, deep way, and that change is worth celebrating. It was not easy, but it was necessary. Someone chose to face their own shadows instead of running from them, chose growth over comfort, chose to actually feel things instead of numbing out, chose to look in the mirror honestly and say, "I want to become someone better than this." Whether it came through therapy, quiet nights of prayer, or journal pages stained with tears, real transformation happened. And that transformation is exactly what makes this reunion possible. Not because either of you is perfect now, but because you are both more aligned now. You are learning to love from a place of wholeness instead of old wounds. You are not meeting again as who you used to be. You are meeting as who you have become. You are not going back to the old story. You are writing a new one together. Growth like this rarely happens in a straight line. There were probably setbacks along the way, days that felt like moving backward instead of forward. That is normal. Real change is messy. It doubles back on itself before it settles into something lasting. So if either of you stumbled during this process, that does not undo the progress that was made. It simply means the growth was real, because only real growth involves getting back up after falling down. But here is something important, so take a breath and really let this land. You do not need this reunion in order to feel whole. Say that again to yourself. You do not need this reunion to feel whole. Your worth was never tied to whether they came back. Your light does not depend on being recognized by anyone else. Your value never paused while you were waiting. You became someone strong in that waiting. You learned how to sit with loneliness without losing yourself, how to ache without falling apart, how to pray without demanding an answer. That is real strength. That is real growth, and it deserves to be celebrated. You did not chase, you healed. You did not beg, you let go. And because you let go, something bigger became possible. Dear soul, before we continue, I'd like to invite you to do something special for your soulmate journey. If today's message speaks to your heart, perhaps this is your moment to respond with faith. Many of us have spent years waiting, praying, and trusting that love would arrive in God's perfect timing. If you feel led, you can sow a seed for your soulmate through Ko-Fi Super Thanks. You'll find the Ko-Fi link in the video description and the pinned comment. The Bible reminds us, God loves a cheerful giver. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 7, every gift given with a willing and joyful heart is a beautiful expression of faith, gratitude, and love. Not because we can earn God's blessings, but because generosity reflects His heart. Let this simple act become your heartfelt intention, saying, Lord, I trust your timing. Bless my soulmate, watch over them wherever they are, and prepare both of our hearts for the beautiful moment you have planned. Your gift also helps this channel continue sharing messages of hope, encouragement, and faith with thousands of hearts searching for God's guidance each day. Thank you for your kindness and generosity. May God bless you, protect your soulmate, and fill your journey with peace, hope, and the joy of love at exactly the right time. Give, and it will be given to you, for with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Luke 6 verse 38. Amen. Red heart, folded hands. Notice how much steadier your days feel now compared to before. Notice how you can think of this person without spiraling the way you once did. That steadiness did not appear by accident. You built it quietly, one hard day at a time, one honest conversation with yourself at a time. That is not something to rush past. That is something to be proud of. You are about to see just how far you have come, how much your capacity for love has grown. This person is not being pulled back to the version of you they left behind. They are being drawn to the version of you that has risen since then, steadier, calmer, carrying real peace in your eyes. They are drawn to that light because it feels like home. They are not coming to rescue you. They are coming to walk beside you and say, I did the work too, and now I see you clearly. That kind of mutual growth is rare. Two people willing to come back together, not as broken halves needing to be completed, but as two whole people choosing each other again. You do not have to prove anything this time. Just be exactly who you are and let love find you there. If this person comes back, let it be because their heart truly remembers you, not because you chased or performed or tried to earn a place. And if they do not come back, trust that something even better, even clearer, even more aligned with your spirit is waiting for you instead. What is truly meant for you cannot be lost. Let that truth settle into your bones. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being aligned, and the kind of love you deserve cannot be rushed. Takes depth, takes honesty, and that is exactly what is forming right now. When the sign comes, receive it. When your heart feels the pull, do not fight it. When the message finally arrives, even if it comes quietly, really listen. You do not have to force any of this. You only have to stay open to the possibility, open to the memory, open to this new chapter, and most of all, open to yourself. Because you Dear one are the biggest sign of all. Your peace, your strength, your hope, those things are messages too. This is not a moment to shrink back. This is a moment to receive. And if your spirit says yes, if this feels true in your heart, type this in the comments. My healing has made room for love, because it has, and something good is already on its way. There is a moment coming that will genuinely take your breath away. A notification that makes your heart skip. A call from a number you somehow just know is them. The timing on this is being worked out down to the smallest detail, and it is not random chance. It is a story unfolding page by page, one you have actually been living all along without even realizing it. Get ready, get steady, get grounded, because this moment is going to change the way you see everything, and you might not even feel like the same person in your own skin afterward, because real love genuinely renews you from the inside out. Picture two people, unaware of each other in the moment, moving through their day, but underneath the surface something is shifting. A current only the heart can feel before the eyes catch up. Old misunderstandings are finally going to make sense, not just through words, but through the way this person holds themselves now, through their tone, through the way they pause thoughtfully before speaking, because they are thinking more carefully now, more lovingly, more intentionally. This is not a repeat of the past. This is a rewrite, a redemption. Pieces of your story are going to click into place in a way that brings real closure, like a door finally closing gently after being left open too long, not out of anger, but out of peace. You may hear something like, I did not know how to love you the right way back then. I was scared. I did not know how to hold on to something that good. And you will realize it was never really about your worth. It was about their own readiness. The things you took personally had nothing to do with you. They were carrying old wounds from long before you ever met. Fear of losing something beautiful all over again. They saw something bright in you and were not sure they could live up to it. But they have grown since then. They have healed. And it is safe now to trust that. Still, it helps to stay grounded, because when this contact comes, it is going to stir up a mix of emotions all at once. Excitement, nostalgia, fear, hope, all hitting like a wave. Breathe. Place a hand over your heart. Feel your feet on the ground. Ask yourself, what kind of energy do I want to bring into this moment? Not desperation, not fear, not confusion, just peace, clarity, self-respect, and love. You get to choose how you respond. This is not about rushing back into anything. It is about stepping into alignment. A simple practice can help here. Each morning, before you check your phone or scroll through anything, sit quietly for a minute and simply notice how you feel. Not how you think you should feel, just how you actually feel. That small habit builds a kind of inner steadiness that will serve you well when this moment finally arrives, because you will already be used to checking in with yourself honestly instead of reacting from a place of fear or old habit. I see old photos being looked at by both of you, on separate nights, in separate rooms, both wondering quietly, why do I still feel this so deeply? I see saved messages finally being reopened, drafts that were written, deleted, then written again. Love that was held back out of fear but is finally ready to be spoken. The love never actually disappeared. It just went quiet for a while to grow stronger roots. Now it is ready to bloom again, in its own perfect timing. You are not imagining the signs. You are not being foolish for still hoping. What is different now is that the foundation is no longer built on old wounds. It is built on real healing, real growth, real honesty. You are not meeting this person back where you left off. You are meeting them at the height you both climbed to individually. So do not rush it and do not force it. Let it unfold slowly, the way a sunrise does, steady and unstoppable. This connection is meaningful not because it is flawless, but because it is real. Pay attention to small signs, remembering little details about this person out of nowhere, seeing their name pop up more often, songs suddenly hitting differently. None of that is coincidence. It is quiet preparation for what is coming. Keep your heart open, not to fantasy, but to something real. This is love returning with purpose, not just for comfort. Let your own inner peace set the pace. When the real moment comes, you will feel it in your bones, a stillness, a quiet certainty that says, "This is it." You will not need to second-guess it because clarity will arrive with them, in the way they look at you, in the words they have waited so long to say, in the whole feeling around that moment. It will feel warm, safe, and real, and nothing in you will want to resist it. Still, never abandon yourself to make this happen. Real love does not ask you to betray who you are. You do not need to shrink to be loved, dear one. You do not need to beg to be seen. You do not need to perform to matter. Just be exactly who you already are. The right person for you sees you clearly, through the heart, not clouded by ego, not distracted by illusion. I see this person arriving without flashy words, just quiet certainty, not trying to impress you, but trying to build something real. They will speak honestly, own their past, and speak from a genuine place. They have been asking for the courage to reach out at the right time in the right way, and that courage is coming together now. You will notice they do not come back with demands. They come back with humility, with understanding, with a tone that says, "I see the pain I caused, and I never want to cause it again." This kind of love does not rush. It rebuilds slowly, but it rebuilds strong with real roots. There will be quiet moments where words are not even needed, just presence, just being close again in peace. Your energy will recognize this person before your mind even catches up. There might be a little nervousness in the body, but your heart will settle into stillness. And in that stillness you will remember, this was always meant to happen. It just needed time and space to grow into itself. Make a little room in your life right now, not just physically, but emotionally too. Let go of old doubts. Forgive whatever no longer needs to be carried. Make space for joy because joy is on its way, and so is this reunion. This might look like clearing out a drawer full of things you have been holding on to without knowing why. It might look like finally having an honest conversation with yourself about what you are still carrying from the past. It might simply look like giving yourself permission to feel excited again without immediately bracing for disappointment. Small acts like these send a quiet signal to your own heart that you are ready to receive something good, and your heart listens more closely than you might think. You have walked through real storms, and not once were you truly alone in that. Every hard night, every quiet tear, all of it was seen and held. Now a new season is beginning, a season of return, of understanding, of love blooming right in front of you. But listen closely, this reunion is not only about romance. It is about restoration, healing, and completion. Ask yourself honestly, how do I want love to feel this time? What do I want to give and what do I want to receive? Because this time you get to build it differently, with wisdom, with healthy boundaries, with real awareness. And this person is doing the same. They are not coming back empty-handed. They are bringing everything they have learned, everything they have realized in the quiet of their own reflection. They are not coming to take. They are coming to offer something real, to start again, wiser this time. You might feel tempted to question it, to test the waters, to ask, is this actually real? And the honest answer is yes, it is real and the timing is right. Still, you always have the choice. You have a voice and you have the power to ask for exactly what you need this time. Do not rush to become who they want. Let them love who you actually are. Let them meet the healed version of you, the grounded version, the one who is soft but strong, because that version of you is remarkable, unforgettable, and completely ready. Dear soul, before we continue, I'd like to invite you to do something truly meaningful for your soulmate journey. The bond between soulmates is precious, and at times, it can feel vulnerable to negativity, envy, or the evil eye from the world around us, even when no harm is intended. If your heart is calling you to cover this connection with an extra layer of love, faith, and protection, you can sow your seed for your soulmate through Ko-Fi Super Thanks. You'll find the Ko-Fi link in the video description and the pinned comment. This simple act can become a heartfelt expression of your intention, inviting the angels to watch over your soulmate connection, surround it with divine light, and guide it as it continues to grow in the right time and in the right way. Throughout the Bible, we see that giving is more than an offering. It's a beautiful expression of faith, gratitude, and trust in God's plan. As 2 Corinthians 9 verse 7 reminds us, God loves a cheerful giver, and Luke 6 verse 38 teaches that generosity has a way of overflowing back into our lives according to God's wisdom and timing. If you feel led to do so, thank you from the bottom of my heart. May your kindness return to you multiplied, and may your soulmate journey be filled with peace, hope, and divine guidance. Let's continue with the angel message. Picture two people reaching toward each other across time, each on their own journey of growth, finally ready to move forward together, not in chaos, but in calm. And calm is one of the clearest signs that something is real. You will not feel confused. You will feel held. In the days leading up to this, you might feel a little more emotional than usual. You might tear up without knowing exactly why. You might feel excitement and nervousness in the very same breath. Let it all move through you. Do not fight it. It is simply clearing space for joy. Everything you have walked through led you here. None of it was wasted. None of it was random. Your journey built the capacity in you to receive this kind of steady, deep, healing love. It is not about big dramatic gestures. It is about the warmth that stays after the excitement fades, the way they look at you in quiet moments, the calm that settles into your shoulders. When it happens, it will feel like coming home, like the waiting is finally over, like being fully known and still wanted. This person carries your name close to their heart. They think of you often, and everything is quietly being arranged so the timing feels right. Not forced, not rushed, just true. You will feel it, not just in your thoughts, but in your whole body, in a breath you did not even realize you were holding. This is timing working itself out exactly as it should. Not too late, not too early, right now. The reunion you have sensed coming for so long is unfolding, and you are ready for it. More ready than you even realize, more grounded than ever, more open than you have ever let yourself be. Because your healing prepared you for exactly this. Trust your growth. Trust your worth. Trust the quiet voice inside that says, "This feels different. This feels meaningful. This is for me." You will hear this person open up in ways they never have before, because they finally feel safe enough within themselves to do it. They will talk about what scared them, what they lost, what they wish they had done differently sooner. And they will also talk about what they want now, real plans, not just fantasies, plans that look like commitment, like building something from a stronger foundation this time. This whole reunion is wrapped in a kind of grace that softens old pain and lets you both see each other clearly, not through the lens of the past, but through the lens of love. When your eyes meet again, it will not feel like starting over. It will feel like picking up a conversation that time simply paused for a while. They have not forgotten you, and somewhere deep down, you have not forgotten them either. That is why your heart has felt heavy some days, why you have woken up thinking of them for no clear reason, because the heart remembers what the mind sometimes tries to move past. You are not imagining this connection. You are not foolish for hoping. This reunion is not about repeating old patterns. It is about correction, about timing, about love getting a real chance to be done right this time. So when the message finally arrives, when that familiar voice says your name again, breathe. Receive it. Remember that you are not who you were before, and neither are they. You are both new. You are both ready. You are both worthy, dear one, and this time it is being built on a stronger foundation so it can actually last. Let this be the reminder you needed. Let this be your peace. Keep believing, because it is happening, because you are loved, because nothing you have quietly hoped for in your heart goes unnoticed. The time has come and you are not alone. You never really were. There is a message on its way that will melt through any walls you have built, not through fancy words or empty promises, but through raw, honest truth. Something this person has needed to say for a long time but could not quite find the courage for until now. This time, pride is not going to get in the way of real healing. While you wait, take care of yourself. Nourish your body. Clear your mind. Create a peaceful space around you. This reunion deserves the most radiant version of you, not because you need to prove anything, but because you deserve to honor yourself either way. Watch for small, unexpected moments too. A mutual friend mentioning their name out of nowhere, an old photo resurfacing, even a stranger saying something that feels oddly connected. Life has creative ways of bringing people back together. Pay attention to these little breadcrumbs. Each one is building toward that moment when your paths finally cross again, whether in person or even just through a message on a screen, and everything shifts. What once felt like delays were actually a kind of quiet protection. This person has been working through their own difficult season, facing old patterns, coming back to themselves. So the love they bring this time comes from a fuller place, not from fear or need, but from something whole and overflowing. Music might play a surprising role here too. A song from your past playing at just the right moment. Lyrics that feel written specifically for your situation. Sometimes healing speaks through melody when words are not enough. Try to release any expectation of exactly how this should look. It might happen in the most ordinary way, a simple text about something practical that ends up opening a much bigger door, a wrong number that turns out to be anything but wrong. Trust that the details are already working themselves out. Old wounds are being gently tended to. Every lesson, every tear, every quiet hope is being woven into this moment. And what once felt broken is becoming your greatest strength. This person is being called toward real vulnerability, ready to finally share what they were once too afraid to say, the moments they wanted to reach out but did not feel worthy enough to try. That fear is finally loosening its grip. Take a quick second before we move forward. Many channels are reposting and copying our content, but authentic energy cannot be duplicated. For the strongest positive connection and divine guidance, always listen from the original angel's message for you channel with the black logo base. Now, let's continue with the message your angels want you to hear. Watch for little signs around you too. In nature, in small everyday moments that suddenly feel meaningful, in quiet reassurances that show up right when you need them. This connection was part of your story long before either of you understood why, part of a bigger design meant to help you both grow into the fullest versions of yourselves. The moment of real contact is closer than your mind may believe. There will be a choice in front of you, one that takes courage, choosing to love from a place of wholeness rather than lack, honoring your own boundaries while still keeping your heart open, seeing this person as they are now, not only as they used to be. Picture two flames that once burned apart, now coming together into one steady light, not losing themselves in each other, but making each other brighter. That is the kind of reunion waiting for you. So prepare your heart, not with anxious waiting, but with quiet, hopeful anticipation. The phone will ring, the message will arrive, the door will open, and when it does, may you recognize it for exactly what it is, a beautiful gift meant just for your soul. If any part of this message felt true to you, know that it was meant to reach you today. This is your confirmation. What you have felt quietly in your heart is real, and your reunion is closer than you think. If this touched you, drop a heart in the comments below to hold on to this feeling. And if you know someone who needs to hear this today, share it with them, because your words create a little ripple of light that reaches more people than you know. Write "thank you" below, or share whatever is on your heart right now, because your words matter and they carry real meaning. Whatever happens next, know that you are already the proof of something beautiful. You survived the hardest parts. You kept your heart soft when it would have been easier to close it off completely. That alone is worth honoring, no matter how this story unfolds from here. If this reunion arrives, receive it with open hands. If something even better is quietly forming instead, trust that too. Either way, you are being guided, and either way, you are already whole. Until next time, remember you are never truly alone. Something bigger is always walking beside you, guiding you toward love, healing, and quiet miracles. Trust the timing, trust the journey, and most of all, trust that the love meant for you really is finding its way back to you. Dear one, dear beautiful soul, this angel's message for you channel is a sacred spiritual home, created for faith, healing, and divine guidance. A place where hearts awaken and lives are gently transformed through divine messages. We warmly invite you to subscribe and stay connected, because the divine is always preparing something greater for your journey, something you are meant to receive in divine timing. If you feel moved to support this mission, you can sow your seed here for your soulmate blessings and divine love fulfillment. Your contribution is not just support. It is an energetic agreement with love, healing, and divine alignment in your own life. When you give with intention, it opens doors. Love flows more freely, happiness expands, and abundance multiplies in unexpected ways. Many believe that giving in faith activates a return of peace, joy, and emotional fulfillment in relationships and life. Whether it is $11, $22, $33, or $55, your generosity helps us continue spreading these divine messages of hope, healing, and soulmate guidance across the world. Every seed sown into this mission helps hearts heal, faith return, and souls reconnect with love. This is more than a channel. It is a movement of light, unity, and divine timing. Your support allows this sacred work to grow, touching lives that are searching for answers, comfort, and spiritual direction. We are all connected in this journey, and together we rise as one community under divine love. Let us open our hearts to the abundance that is already on its way. Amen.